So you play video games?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, absolutely. You're like, of course I do. What games do you play?
Well, I'm not, people are more in the traditional games that are popular, like Call of Duty, Halo, the shooters. I'm more or less in the games that are considered massive multiplayer online role-playing games. So that's a mouthful, but people usually say MMORPG. That basically just says it's a role-playing game that can be accessed by people at any moment. So you can run past somebody, and that'll be a real live player playing.
Gotcha.
Yep. And the most recent one I just played was Elden Ring. If anyone plays video games, they'll know that one. So it was pretty time consuming, but it was fun.
That's funny. There's this movie I just watched. I don't know if you have Disney Plus. It's super random. But there's this movie with Ryan Reynolds.
We just watched it last night.
Did
Free
you?
Eye. It was hilarious.
You liked it? It was funny, right?
It was very funny. There's a lot of video game references in there that made me laugh.
What is one item that you have on your bucket list?
To see one of the wonders of the world, like either the pyramids, or I don't know if it's a wonder of the world, but go see the Sistine Chapel, or go see Jesus statue in Brazil, or something like that. One of those, or the Great Wall, something crazy like that.
If I said you can go on vacation, you can go anywhere you want. Right now, you're leaving tonight. Where are you going?
I am very indecisive, so I like to leave things up to chance. So, I'm really bad. If I don't know what I want at the restaurant, I'll ask the waitress or waiter to say, "What's your favorite 3 items?" And they'll point them out, and I'll say, "Okay, just pick one and bring it." Just surprise me. So I would probably throw a dart at a board, and wherever it landed, that's where I'm going.
So do you have a favorite food? I mean,
I did. My mother's lasagna. I can eat that all day long. But if we're going out to a restaurant, I'll just try anything. It's not necessarily being indecisive. It's more or less just, I want to leave it up to chance, so.
What's the best piece of advice that you've ever gotten?
Man, I would say, and it's something I still say to this day, it wasn't said directly in this phrasing, but just basically from my parents. They said it in a multitude of different ways of us, me and my brother growing up, but at the end of the day, it all boiled down to just keep going. If you want to start a diet and you're day 2 and it's like, man, this is rough, just keep going. There's no excuse. I want to open my own business. Okay, I started it. Man, this is really hard. Okay, cool, just keep going. If you're starting a new job that the training is too hard, just keep going. It'll get there. Leave no stone unturned. You can't stop until you've exhausted all your options. And when you look back and said, I did everything in my power to be the best at this I could be, and you still aren't there, then that's when you can think about looking at a switch. But as long as you still have options on the table, you have to exhaust all of them. So you just have to keep going.
If you're going to write an autobiography, what would the title of your book be?
What we talked about earlier, just keep going. That's what it'll be.
Do you have any pet peeves?
When people leave dirty Band-Aids on the ground. Oh, jeez, so disgusting.
Does that happen a lot? Dirty Band-Aids, dirty tissues.
I mean, like in a locker room, you'll see a dirty Band-Aid. I'm like, come on, it's like just pick it up. Or like around little kids, it's like, come on, like pick it up, please. Just throw it away. It's disgusting. Watching a movie without subtitles kind of bothers me.
Really? So you need the subtitles on?
Because I grew up a huge fan of anime, so I used to watch the with it in Japanese and the subtitles. And then as I got older, I realized, with subtitles on, people around me don't need to be quiet. I can just read and watch. So I don't got to be interrupted at all. And then when the subtitles aren't on, I feel like I'm missing important dialogue in the movie, or someone else is talking, I got to rewind. It just bothers me if the subtitles aren't on.
Speaking about movies, if you could be one character in any movie, what would it be?
Okay, granted, he was a criminal, but the simple fact that he could think so quickly on his feet, I forget his name, but it was a character Leonardo DiCaprio played in Catch Me If You Can. So the way that guy could just adapt to his surroundings. I mean, he convinced people he was a pilot. He convinced people he was a lawyer, and I forget the other one he did. But those aren't easy things to do, So just his brain capacity to be able to absorb all that knowledge, I would like to have that talent.
So you'll be up here in a few weeks. We're going for number 2 championship win. That's the dream. What are you looking forward to most this season?
The atmosphere, being up there. playing in Albany. You know, ever since the AFL folded, you know, very few teams have been able to transition into the lower leagues and still maintain that atmosphere. And it's obviously the ones that were former AFL teams that have been able to go to the IFL and the NAL and still be able to produce that kind of atmosphere and that energy to let people know that, like, hey, this is an arena game. This is completely different and you're going to love it. And Albany is one of the top ones to do it ever since they came back. That's what I'm most excited for. The fans, the energy, the pregame show, whether it's fireworks, people on motorcycles, people dressed as zoo animals. I have no idea what we're going to see. But just that whole atmosphere is what I love about arena football. And I'm glad to be back in an area that does that.